And we are joined here in our makeshift studio by the Chief of Police, Chief David Tembe, who has agreed kindly to let us join them in this massive operation to keep our roads safe. Chief Tembe, thank you so much for joining us here on Your View.
Thank you, JJ, and thank you to the listeners and the viewers at home.
Wonderful.
I hope they watch this.
Wonderful. Chief, what can you tell me that can say to me that the citizens of Johannesburg are going to be safe this festive season? We have seen these roadblocks before. We've seen some of these operations before. What is different this year?
The difference is that will be very much visible, especially on our freeways, because that's where our pedestrians are being killed mostly. And we have introduced cop on a bike, because most of the people get assaulted. We've got problem of people assaulting their women at the parks, at the zoo, Dorothy Nyembe, because after they've taken much of alcohol or have been enjoying themselves, they tend to do some. Now I've introduced, the city has introduced cop on a bike.
Cop on a bike, so they'll be using bikes to go in, even where they don't have cars, where they can be able to maneuver easily.
We'll be able to be with them, we'll communicate with them. We're not there to police them. We are there to ensure that they are safe.
Yeah. But how many cops would you say have been put out on that kind of program?
We've got 30 that we are going to launch next week.
Yes.
And for the purpose of this festive season, not only this festive season, but we have realized that we need to communicate. We can't just go there, scope and donor. We can't do that. We are from the community, and we want to work with the community. Without the community, we're bound to fail to save life.
Absolutely. Now tell me about the roadblock itself. I mean, I've seen here there are vans that are very high technology, but particularly when it comes to detecting alcohol and ensuring that that evidence is useful for conviction, because that's really the point. We've had a situation where you come to a roadblock, you arrest people, and then tomorrow they are out, and then it's finished, and they never get to go to prison, and that's why people carry on drinking, because they think there's no consequence.
Yeah, 4 of our buses have got what we call it evidence breathalyzer alcohol test. You don't have to draw blood. From here, we take you to the cells. That's it. And you have to appear with all the evidence, either tomorrow or on Monday, if ever it has been approved by the Director of Public Prosecution. So it's not something that we came up with. It's legal. We don't have to take blood. But you have seen I've got a sister in one of the buses. The sister is there if we suspect that we have taken drugs, because that doesn't identify or detect drugs.
Through the breathalyzer?
Yes, through the breathalyzer. So we get the sister to take blood, and then we take that particular person to the surgeon.
Just to educate our people, at the moment, if you are found to be drunk and you are driving and that breathalyzer says your alcohol limit is way over the limit, what happens to you? What are they mandatory sentences and so on? Because I think people still don't take it serious. That's why you've got so many drivers that you arrest here in roadblocks like this who are still drunk, and to them it's normal. They have normalized it. I don't think a lot of people even think it's an issue. They know that they can just bribe somebody and go home. What if you are found guilty? How long can you be sentenced to as a mandatory sentence?
Yeah, that depends on who's presiding, the magistrate who is presiding. Others has been controversial when you see how people have been sentenced, but it is worse if ever you have killed somebody in an accident when you are drunk. In Johannesburg, each and every accident where there are injuries, we do the breathalyzer test. So to ensure that you were not drunk. So both of you, the one who have been knocked and the other one, we make sure that we breathalyze you. So, but the mandatory sentence is prescribed in terms of National Road Traffic Act.
But could somebody be sentenced to 2, 3, up to 5 years in prison if they are drunk and there was nobody injured? They were just driving by themselves. You stopped them. They were drunk.
Yeah, that one I can't really comment, because it's a justice system that deals with it. But yes, people have been sentenced to prison for being drunk. You know, being
what are
drunk,
some of the examples? Because you see, the trouble is people think actually nothing will happen to them. That's the problem.
No, they get sentenced. But unfortunately, we don't get involved in terms of sentencing.
Yeah.
Ours is to ensure that we bring them to justice.
Yeah. What can you tell me about the conviction rate? You arrest a lot of people. I mean, when you listen to Wayne Minnaar, you'll be shocked in some of the statistics. Oh, we arrested 500 people, you know, at the roadblock and whatnot, right? But do you have a sense of the conviction rate in terms of how many people out of the ones who arrest actually end up in prison because they were driving drunk?
Yeah, let's take for an example the EBET, the evidence breathalyzer alcohol test. We have got over 200 that have been convicted. And you don't have to wait for a year or waiting for blood, because once we take you there, you are bound to be convicted.
Yeah.
But with the taking of blood, it takes time. A person, sometimes the blood disappears.
Yeah.
You know how things work.
Yes.
And then we don't make even a follow-up on it. But I have introduced a unit. If we arrest you here, I don't think that you'll get scot-free.
Yeah.
Because that unit, we track all our cases, JMPD cases, and we'll know that this David Tembe paid a bail of 1,500.
Yeah.
And he appears before the magistrate on such a day.
Yeah.
That unit is doing very, very well.
Okay. And then they disappear.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
But now it has changed.
You have just graduated 2 weeks ago, over 1,000 new JMPD police officers.
Yes.
That's a massive, massive number. Yeah. What are some of your big plans following that kind of massive recruitment in terms of keeping Joburg safe? There are a lot of crime. A lot of people think Joburg is just what you call a gangster's paradise, man. You know, where people can just do as they please, and it's just rampant corruption. You got a situation where you've got 600 buildings that have been hijacked by people. So it's like brazen lawlessness. People just take over buildings, and it's all right. They live there. Some of them even charge rent. You know, so it looks like there's a lot of lawlessness. What are your plans to arrest this situation?
We have got an operation called Teto, and we have got a national operation by SAPS called Okaimula. So every week, all over Gauteng, we have got operations that deals with hijacked buildings, people who are selling drugs, prostitution, human trafficking.
Yeah.
So we arrest a lot of people in that. The Minister of Police has been with us. I think you might have seen when we went into the train to park stations.
Yes.
So it's the minister who walks the talk. And now I've brought the executive mayor so that he must be able to have a feel on what we are doing. So that all of us, when we walk the talk,
have you given him some update? Does he share your vision? Can you put your head on the block that he shares your vision to fight crime in the city?
Yes, he does. We had our meeting with the executives, and all of us where he tell us what he's expecting of us. Most of the issues that was raised was the issue of the load shedding, the pointsman. Everybody is complaining because there are no pointsmen. But what I've done, I haven't even briefed him. I'm going to brief him sometimes tomorrow. The 1,085 that are still at the academy because they have to be induction to put them in the street.
Let's pause there. I want to get a better sense of what are some of the interventions you will make to fight crime and how you also be mobilizing the communities to help you.